This char set, which has a value of UTF-8 encoded inside this meta tag, is used by World Wide Web to understand the documents that we write as HTML templates. So these documents will be rendered as HTML files inside your browser so that your browser can understand these documents need to be rendered as HTML element, as HTML template, and these tags need to be used in order to organize your document. Now this will provide, or this is a standardized method to make our browser and our crawler understand that this page needs to be read as an HTML page and the content needs to be organized inside their corresponding elements. Now the next step is to understand the other meta tags. These other meta tags, which also has got the attributes of name and content inside them, are distinct from each other. So let us first look at each of them likewise. We will be looking at this title tag and all of these link tags, and how these link tags will help us to understand how this page is reacting. Now, inside this document, this head section, especially in this head section, none of this information will be shown directly on your website or on your web page. They won't be displayed in any way, but they are essential for our browser, because our browser needs to understand that this document or this template needs to be rendered as HTML, and some of this information, like the meta tag, will also be very important when web crawlers from Google's algorithm starts crawling through our page, and then it indexes our page accordingly. So we need to provide a semantic meaning to this page, and we will understand what that semantic meaning actually means to us. So in order to understand what this metadata is doing, let's actually go back to our page and run this page on a browser. So let's click on this HTML page and then click on this run button. So this will automatically bring up this HTML page on your browser. So I'm running this on Firefox. You can do the same thing. So the advantage of using this Aptona Studio and creating a project is, I told you about this connection. So it automatically creates a loopback server connection, and if you run this if you actually click on this run button, it will run this server for you, and then immediately it will run the page for you. So we haven't got much detail in this page, but let's actually examine what's going on behind the scenes. So right click on the page and then go to inspect element. So your one might be looking something like this at the bottom. It might appear at the bottom of the browser, but if you want to keep it at the side, just click on this dock to side of browser window. So it will automatically dock it after you click on it. So let's actually examine the help actually the entire stuff. So let us first look at the head section. So let's twirl it down, and we can see that what we have written in our raw code or in our raw HTML template, it's actually giving us the same stuff inside this page, but we don't see what's going on due to this, what's actually changing. We don't see the change. We can't actually see the meaningful change on our display or on our page. The reason is that this metadata is implicitly talking to your browser, and it will implicitly talk to the web crawlers from any search engine. Implicitly means it will talk behind the back of this website. So whenever you provide a metadata, it's going to mean a lot to your web crawlers and obviously to your browser. So this meta char set, which has got this is an attribute. This char set is an attribute, as we can see in here. This char set, which has got the value of UTF-8 as an encoding type, this will specify if this page was running on a live server, or if this website was running on a live server, then this char set would have told your browser that you must read this page as an HTML document. So whenever it tells your browser that this is the standardized form accepted by the World Wide Web, and you should read this as the HTML page or the de facto HTML page, then your page won't actually start throwing all those weird tags on your page, which means they will start understanding the language. And like this paragraph tag, like this h1 tag, which is the first heading tag, it will actually read this heading tag and it will render out a bigger form of the heading on your page rather than showing all these elements. So the metadata actually specifies data that needs to be added implicitly to the page. So if we look at this data, we see that we have got name, we have got a name attribute, we have also got a content attribute, and then inside the name attribute we have got several stuff. Let's actually look at the raw code because it might be confusing to you. So let's head back to this raw code, and in here you can see that we have got description, we have got author, we have got viewport. Now the viewport is used if you want to make your website very responsive, which means if you want to make this website universal, or you want to design a website that will be viewed on a desktop, on a laptop, on a small screen, or a small screen resolution like mobile phones or smartphones. If you want to design your website for tablets or iPads, then you will have to go for different screen sizes, different resolutions. So this viewport metadata is going to tell your crawlers, along with the browser, obviously, it's going to tell your browser that if the browser shrinks down, which means, let me close this one for the moment. So if your browser shrinks down, usually what we can see is that our browser has a specific length. When we maximize it to the fullest length on a laptop computer or a desktop computer, it will have a specific length. But if you go for a mobile device, it will actually shrink down. Your mobile screen will usually be like this. It will usually have a smaller screen size like this. So in a smaller screen size, your design, your content, and your structure needs to be organized in another way, and it will be unlike the way that we designed for the desktop. And if you go for a different screen resolution, that like the tablet one or the iPad one, it's a little bigger than smartphones, but still it's smaller than the resolution that's used for laptops and desktops. So in that situation also, you are going to